The Eagles improved to 6-0, and Dallas, if you look at Philadelphia's schedule, the next 11 opponents, the best offense they will face is Dallas. So Philadelphia is going to be very hard to catch. Dallas could very likely this morning be a wild card team. It's not like Dallas's remaining schedule is great, but they do face Philly's offense again, Minnesota's offense, and this week Detroit off a bye being humiliated. Lions will put some points on you. Philadelphia may have won the division last night. Seriously. And the game looked a lot like I thought it would. I predicted Friday 27-20. I think Dallas physically stacks up. I like their front seven. They can discombobulate your offense, but it's the same old issues. 3 turnovers for the Cowboys, none for the Eagles. Cowboys had 5 times the penalties. They had 10. And the Dallas head coach, Mike McCarthy, inexplicably on a challenge in the first half, CeeDee Lamb reaches out, didn't challenge it. Philadelphia got the ball and got points out of it. Coaching gaffes, turnovers, beating themselves with penalties. This Cowboys team is talented, but they're not talented enough to overcome themselves. The Eagles are different. They literally don't turn it over. They have a plus 12 turnover differential. They take it away, they never give it back to you, and they know what they are. Philadelphia for 6 straight weeks has done mostly the same thing. They take leads, they don't turn it over. What they basically do is take a lead and then say, we have a really good pass rush and the best cornerback tandem in the league. Try to come back and beat us. And Dallas gave it a shot. Dallas moved the ball at the end. But this is really how Philadelphia wins, because they do the exact same thing. You get the exact rinse and repeat. Philadelphia, they know exactly what they are and exactly what they're not, and they play within that. Dallas is different. There's no real design. It's just a handful of playmakers. There's no real structure to Dallas. They've just got Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb and these really talented guys. I don't think Philadelphia has that much more talent than Dallas. Maybe on the offensive line. But I think the front sevens for both are excellent. Both have a star corner. Both have a go-to wide receiver. I think these teams are reasonably equal, but one of them knows exactly what they are and what they're not, and they play with a lead, and they've got great corners and a pass rush. There is a construct and a style to Philadelphia's game. We're in early in the season, and they may just run it and end up with 14 wins. They don't face another high-powered offense until Dallas with Dak later in the season. This sport is not just about playmakers. I mean, what makes the Warriors great is that they lean on the defensive guy, Draymond, and then they've got their shooter, and Kayvon Looney is now developed into a great rebounder, and Klay Thompson's the catch-and-shoot guy. Jordan Poole's the first off-the-bench guy. Tie them to a string. It's a community. They win the same way. They can rely on things. They know how to play and where they're going. Dallas just has playmakers, and really good playmakers. But I never feel like with Dallas, I get these big highs, I get these lows. They beat themselves, too many penalties. There's always a turnover. There's always a coaching gaffe. And I think they'll eventually just hit a ceiling. Philadelphia's ceiling is wide open. So I saw a story this weekend where, Tom Brady is yelling at the offensive lineman for Tampa, and he was at a wedding Friday. Okay, first of all, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been a daiquiri at a whiskey bar my entire life. Silly, uneven, underachieving, rudderless, goofy. Nobody that you really like ever orders a daiquiri, right? You've never had a friend who loves daiquiris. That's what they are. And then Brady arrives, year one, yells, screams, barks, they win a Super Bowl. Last year, the knock on Brady, and we said it on this show, he was indifferent. He wasn't yelling at people after November. He felt a little disengaged. We found out he wanted to retire. What happened? The team went back to being the Buccaneers without leadership. Year 3, now he's back to barking. I'm here for it. I mean, the Steelers didn't have TJ Watt and still were in Brady's grill the entire afternoon. They were getting incredible pressure without TJ Watt and without stunting, and he was upset. Well, he was at a wedding. He missed Friday's walk around and Saturday. Really? This is a guy that wrote a book on an avocado ice cream. Doesn't drink a beer during the season. We're going to question Tom Brady's commitment. The guy's going through a personal crisis. He's got a brand new coach. Oh, yeah, that coach was fired his last job. They've had cluster injuries to the offensive line and wide receivers. and we're questioning Tom Brady's commitment. In the NFL in the last 20 years, there's one or two things you can't question. Andy Reid's brilliance, Belichick's defensive strategy, Brady's commitment. Oh, God, he went to a wedding for 6 hours. Whatever. Folks, this is not a rookie receiver. He is the leadership quotient for this rudderless organization for most of my life, and I once covered it for 2 years. Uneven, silly, no leadership. Tom barks. He did in year one. They won a Super Bowl. He's back to barking. Just trust Tom on this. He doesn't yell just to yell. Wouldn't you prefer your quarterback? Like in Denver right now, Denver plays tonight. Isn't the knock in Russell Wilson's always too optimistic and doesn't confront anybody, and Kirk Cousins is too optimistic? Most of the quarterbacks that drive you crazy in this league are aloof, disconnected Aaron Rodgers, passive-aggressive, don't bark. Tom does. Leadership's uncomfortable. It's volume. It's intensity. He went to a wedding. Yes, he flew his private jet up the road, went to a wedding, flew back to Pittsburgh, and made the Saturday night team meeting. I'm not losing sleep over it. Maybe if it was Baker Mayfield, yes, I would question his commitment. He had more commercials than touchdowns. I'm not questioning that with Brady. Brady has been the glue that pulled this thing together, the unifier, the guy that ties the string all together. And I think Tom Brady, this team right now is wobbling, and Brady can sit back and not bark or care. I'm sorry. I'm for people that care. Kobe yelled, LeBron yelled, Michael punched. I'm for people that care. Shame on me. It's a little bit like Green Bay, but at least with Tom, it's all of us. It's not Maddie's doing a good job, and those guys, maybe we have to simplify it. It's all of us, and I'm the most decorated player of us, and I'm going to bark occasionally at us. It's not like Brady doesn't hold himself to a high standard. He eats avocado ice cream. I wouldn't even buy it and sample it. He's got shelves, refrigerators, and freezers stocked with it. I'm good with barking. It happens. Sometimes leadership's a little uncomfortable. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.